What is going on, guys? It's time to finish the NL Central. Today we have the Milwaukee Brewers. And trying to make this video under an hour. Had to cut out some things in my last video with the Cincinnati Reds. Go watch that video. It was a heartbreaker in the end. But we have the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that is kind of in a rebuild, kind of not. They traded Corbin Burns of the Baltimore Orioles. They have Willie Adames, who's a free agent to be. William Contreras is a stud for them. Really good get from Atlanta. So let's take a look at the roster before we get this first season underway. Rotation's not, a lights out rotation, but still a very solid rotation. Got Freddie Peralta, Woodruff, when they ended up re-signed to a 2-year deal. Jacob Junis, they signed to a 1-year deal in free agency. Coming off of a solid season with the Giants. Aaron Ashby, who they're very high on, ended up missing last year with an injury. And DL Hall, who they got in the trade, who could be a reliever, could be a starter, could be a closer. They're still trying to figure out his role, and they're probably going to experiment a little bit of everything. Then we have Wade Miley, the veteran. Colin Ray's been around for a while, just been hurt a lot. So, and Jansen Junk as well, and Robert Gasser. So the rotation's not electrifying, but definitely could be a solid, starting point for this team. Then you have Abner Uribe, who could be a really, really good reliever. Look at his numbers from last year. He's only 23, 8 potential. And you have Hobie Milner, Elvis Peguero, Trevor McGill, Taylor Clark, Bryce Wilson. So their bullpen's not their strong suit. And then you have Devin Williams, a closer, really the best relief pitcher they got by a landslide, and Joel Payet. So they have both listed as a closer in here. So the bullpen could use some work, but definitely could show some potential. We got William Contreras and Gary Sanchez. They signed as a free agent who could be a very good backup for William Contreras. Reese Hoskin, another guy they brought in, 2-year deal. Definitely going to hit a lot of home runs in that ballpark. Bryce Terang, young second baseman. Also got Christian Arroyo, former Red Sox, and Ray and Giant. And third base definitely could use a lot of work. I mean, they have Monasterio. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but he's only a 67 overall. Willie Adames, free agent to be. We'll see how the first season goes, whether we choose to re-sign him or trade him. Christian Yelich, we all know he's their star, or one of their stars. Bounced back last year. Still seems like that back injury he's had has really bothered him with his swing and just his overall movement. Hopefully he can get back on track. And then Sal Frelick, their young outfielder. They really have a lot of good young outfielders. Garrett Mitchell, Jackson Chourio, who they're very high on, gave that extension to, and Joey Weimer. So you look at this roster, and the lineup could definitely use some work at second base, third base, maybe an outfield, right field. We'll see how Joey Weimer does, but bullpen could definitely use the work and maybe like an eighth starter. But this team's not horrible, and the NL Central is a very weak division. You don't know what the Cardinals are going to be. You don't know what the Cubs are going to be. The Reds, they're young. They don't really have the pitching, I think, to hold up. The Pirates are still going to be there, but are they ready to compete yet? That's yet to be seen. So this is a division that could go to any of these 5 teams in the game or in real life. I mean, I think it's just a coin toss to who's going to win this division. But let's get this season underway. I would try to sign a free agent like a Jordan Montgomery. I know the Brewers don't like to spend a lot of money, but we could add him to that rotation. Let's see how much money he wants. I got to release somebody first. Let's see if there's anybody who we can get rid of in the minor leagues or something. Gonna go ahead and get rid of Nick Bennett, D potential. So if we go to sign Jordan Montgomery, we have 130 million. He wants about 10 million a year. That's not really horrible. Wants a little bit more money, 20.3 million. So we get Jordan Montgomery for this team. Definitely be the best pitcher we have. I'll do the 40-man roster thing outside the video, but we get him, Peralta, Woodruff, Junis, and Ashby as our starting five. We put DL Hall and Wade Miley as our long relief. I really like that, so that definitely could have some potential. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that figured out, get the season started. I will see you guys at the trade deadline, and we'll see what moves we need to make. The trade I'm really tempted to do. Gary Sanchez, our backup catcher, having a pretty good year. 313 average, 7 home runs, 13 RBIs in 24 games. So he's really played well. The Rays want him. Looks like they need some catching help, so it makes sense. They're willing to trade us a 20-year-old, a potential 71 overall Junior Caminero, who looks like he's going to be a stud. This is too good of a deal to pass up. I'm going to go ahead and make this trade and call up Eric Haas to be our backup catcher. Our first trade deadline, we're sitting 4 games out of first place behind the Cardinals. The Reds are 5.5 back, so it looks like it's going to be us 3 teams in the fight to the end to get first place. Not going to show the player stats at the end of the season. Not sure if I mentioned that already. We're going to look at the trade block. A lot of our players I put on there because I didn't really know what this team was going to be doing in the first season. So I ended up putting some of the free agents to be or big contracts like Yelich, but Like Adames is really tempting to re-sign because if you look at the season he's having, 18 home runs, 54 RBIs. It's like, man, we could really use him. But I mean, I'm looking at the trade block. A lot of it's our guys we put on there, but like, there's not really a lot on here to make us that much better. You get what I'm saying? Like there's a few guys like Gregory Soto, who actually I might try to get because we do need some bullpen help. So let's see what they want for Gregory Soto. We got a lot of players they're interested in. We have a lot of shorts. So I'm going to trade them Freddie Zamora for Gregory Soto. So we had Gregory Soto to our team. We're going to send down Trevor McGill, who hasn't been all that. So we had a left to our bullpen. We still have him for another season. He's having a really good year. Our rotation's looking like it's been pretty solid as well, especially our big three, as you call it. So that's going to be the only move I make. Actually, I'm going to go to Willie Adames and see how much money he wants because I feel like he's actually a big part of this team. So let's see, 22 million for 2 years. He wants a little bit more. He wants his money, and I respect. I'm going to keep going up. Okay, 23.1 for 2 years. I think that's a fair deal. We got him signed for the rest of this franchise, and it really ain't at a costly deal, 11.6 million. So I think we got most of the stuff we got taken care of. Let's see if we end up making the playoffs. Season is officially over. Devin Williams with 52 saves leads the league. How about Acuna, 49 home runs? Wow. So let's see how everybody did. We did end up making the playoffs with a 92-win season. So a very good first season for us. Made the playoffs. I was a little worried about this Brewer team. So let's take a look at the lineup, how everybody did. Bryce Terang, not a bad year, especially in the leadoff spot, 15 home runs, 58 RBIs. Not a bad first season. First season as an everyday second baseman. Or actually, he was an everyday second baseman last year, excuse me. Sal Frelick, not the most impressive numbers, but he's going to continue to improve. He's only 23. I'll take that. Christian Yelich, about the numbers he put up last year. 1 home run short, more RBIs, more walks, less strikeouts. Slugging and on-base percentage and average are all down, but overall not a bad season. Willie Adames, we gave him that extension, and he was raking before the extension, but 31 home runs, 90 RBIs, 289 average, slugged over 500. Rhys Hoskins back from injury, puts up 27 home runs, 99 ribbies, slugs 470, got on base, hit 265 too, which is pretty high for Rhys Hoskins. So good overall season for him. A lot of power in this lineup. William Contreras was hurt, but he also had a good season even when he was hurt. So 15 home runs, 71 RBIs, 305 average. He missed like the first month or two of the season, still put up solid numbers. So Garrett Mitchell, very good season, 16 home runs, 81 RBIs for Garrett Mitchell. RBI machine right here, 271 average. Impressive. Looks like we had an injury as well. Joey Weimer, about where his season last year was. Hopefully he can jump up a little bit with the numbers next season. Let's see our bench. Jake Bauers, not a bad year at all. Gave us good production off the bench in 45 games. I think he also had an injury as well that kept him out for a while. Monasterio, not a great season on the bench. Jackson Churio got some experience. Didn't play horrible, but not great. Junior Caminero, the young shortstop we got some playing time as well. Didn't really do too much, 3 for 15. And Jefferson Caro didn't even play. So lineup looked pretty good. Let's take a look at the starting rotation. Jordan Montgomery had a hell of a season, 2.89 ERA, 14-10 record, gave us 200 innings. First time in his career he's done that, so he was healthy, durable, great to see. Freddie Peralta, 14-5, 200 innings as well, which has been his problem, his health the last few years. 2.54 ERA. Brandon Woodruff was solid for a number 3, 3.74 ERA, 9-10 record. DL Hall gave us some solid innings. I think he was down in the minor leagues for most of the season. So for a 4-starter, I'll take those numbers. And Aaron Ashby was solid as well, 13-9. ERA could be a little bit better, but for a 5th starter. Gregory Soto had a bad second half after he got to Milwaukee, which, I mean, their ballpark, I get it, your numbers are probably going to go up. It's not really a pitcher's ballpark, but still got to have better numbers than that. Colin Ray didn't even pitch. Elvis Peguero put up solid numbers, 3.70 ERA. Hobie Milner was decent, but not as good as he was last year. Trevor McGill gave us an okay season. Joel Pines was excellent, 3.32 ERA, 28 holds. Abner Uribe was lights out in 17 innings, 1.59 ERA. And then Devin Williams was lights out as well. The ERA could be a little bit better, but 52 saves. Man, what a season for Devin Williams. So you see this team. You see why we won a division. Our starting rotation for the most part was good. Bullpen had a lights out closer. I shouldn't say lights out, but a solid closer. And our lineup was good. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the first game of the playoffs, and we'll get this first playoffs underway. Jordan Montgomery on the mound here at home. Strikes out LED LaCruz, Will Benson, single, caught stealing, and a ground out. Let's see if we can get some runs on the board. We don't. Double for Spencer Steer. And the Reds take a 1-0 lead, 2-0. Montgomery gives up 2 runs in the second. We're facing Hunter Green. Can we get some runs back? Bases loaded, and we strike out. So Jordan Montgomery trying to keep us in the game. Doing a pretty good job at it so far besides that second inning. Leadoff double for Willie Adames. And we can't get no runs home right now. Montgomery's been good overall, though. Hunter Green's been lights out. Montgomery has a 1-2-3-6 inning, but we got to get some runs on the board. Bases loaded, and we strike out. That is tough. Montgomery 7 strong innings. They bring in Brent Suter to face Joey Weimer, and it leads to a double play. So time to bring in the bullpen. Let's see, we got 2 lefties going to bring in. Gregory Soto. Strikeout, ground out. So good inning for him. TJ Antone comes in to pitch the bottom of the 8th. And we failed to get any runs on the board. Our offense has just not been good. Going to bring in Elvis Peguero. Not looking good so far. We got to try to get a pitching change. Colin Ray gives up a 3-run homer to Andrew Vaughn. And our bullpen is just collapsing. Trevor McGill gets us out of the inning. 6-0 Cincinnati. And we just cannot get no runs. Get shut out in Game 1 by Hunter Green and the Reds. We got to bounce back in Game 2, though, because Game 1 was just a disaster. So Freddie Peralta on the mound. Here we go. Reds already trying to get on the board. We end up getting a double play from them. We have just not hit with runners in scoring position in this series so far. It has not been good. We got to get some runs, especially when our offense was good. And TJ Friedel hits a 2-run bomb, 2-0 Reds. We have a bad bottom of the 3rd. And there's a solo home run by Willie Adames to get us some offense. We needed something. So 2-1. Freddie Peralta still pitching a good game. There's a single for Yelich. Not 2-run bomb by Sal Frelick to get us the lead. We needed that. Let's see if Freddie Peralta can have a good inning. He does. Bottom of the 6th. We fail to get another run on the board. And they end up tying it up. I probably left Freddie Peralta in there too long. Going to bring in Joel Payamps a little early. Keep this game tied. Brent Suter back to pitch again. And we fail to score. Can we get another inning out of Payamps? We do. Lucas Sims in the pitch. And we get a 2-run bomb by Garrett Mitchell to get us the lead. And it's time to bring in Devin Williams to shut her down, hopefully. He's looking, and he gets the save. I had me a little worried with that single and hit by pitch. So a do-or-die Game 3 in Milwaukee. Can we close this series out and advance in the playoffs? Brandon Woodruff on the mound. Let's do it. 1-2-3, top of the 1st. Bases loaded. We do not score right there. That is tough. Brandon Woodruff gets out of Andrew Abbott, pitching for the Reds in this game, by the way. 3-run bomb by Sal Frelick, who's been a hero in this series so far. 2 home runs. As we needed that. Brandon Woodruff looks good overall so far. Andrew Abbott, another story, has not been looking good. Another run scores Joey Weimer, so they bring in Nick Martinez. So it's time to take out Brandon Woodruff, 1st and 3rd, 1 out. We're going to bring in Elvis Peguero. He's had a bad postseason, probably not a good move. He gets a double play, though, clutch pitch right there. Nick Martinez gets him out of the inning. Going to bring in Uribe to pitch. Hasn't pitched yet in this series. Gets us out of the inning. We can't score any more than 1 more inning possibly out of him. Yes, we do. Emilio Pagan to pitch. Has a 1-2-3 inning. So time to bring in Devin Williams to advance us to the playoffs. And he does. So we end up advancing Good series win, good way to bounce back, but we got the Braves sitting right in front of us. And this is not going to be a fun series to face the Atlanta Braves, unfortunately. But we know we could get it done. So let's see. We face Spencer Strider in game one. It's going to be a interesting game. DL Hall looking a little wild so far, but ends up getting out of the first inning. He's giving up a lot of hits, a lot of walks. He gives up a grand slam to Mitchell Harris. Not what we wanted to see. Already down 4-0. Can we get maybe one more inning? We do. We end up getting a run back. Willie Adames. So it's time to take out DL Hall, bring in Colin Ray. Gives up a 2-run bomb. Mitchell Harris has all 6 runs driven in for the Atlanta Braves. 3-run bomb by Ozzie Albies. And game one's just pretty much, wouldn't say it's over, but it's going to take a lot to get back in. And 9-1 against the Atlanta Braves. Trevor McGill going to try to give us a few innings here. Don't want to completely burn out our bullpen in the first game of this series. So hopefully he could just get through at least 4 or 5 innings. We get a run back on the board. The Braves do not get a run that inning. So there's a single for Terang, a walk, strikeout, and a double play. Our offense has had some opportunities, but just not good so far. So we end up losing 9-2 in game one. Just not a good performance for us. DL Hall was not good. Probably shouldn't have pitched him in game one, but wanted to give our starters are pretty tired right now. So Aaron Ashby pitches game two. Let's see if he has a better performance against Max Fried here. We end up getting an early run thanks to Rhys Hoskins, but Mitchell Harris just continues to hurt us as they drive him in to make it a 1-1 game. There's a double for Albies. Walk, strikeout, strikeout. So we get a run in thanks to Willie Adames, 2-1 Milwaukee. Max Fried back on the mound. We do not get another run. They tie it up thanks to Ozzie Albies. Can we get a run back here? We don't. So maybe one more inning out of Aaron Ashby. Solo shot. Another solo shot. Left him in a pitch too long. Back-to-back home runs for the Braves as it's 5-2 Atlanta. That is tough. Can our offense come through and get us back on the board here? They do not. That is tough. So I'm going to take out Gregory Soto, bring in Joel Payams. Gives up another home run to Austin Riley. Man, the Braves are just kicking our butts right now in this series. This has not been fun. And we just can't get no runners home right now. So maybe Payams can give us one more inning. He does. So top of the ninth, we're facing Jackson Stevens down 7-2. And we end up losing down 0-2 in the series of the Braves. Hopefully our big three on the pitching rotation can get us back in this series because it has not went good so far. So Jordan Montgomery, game 3. This is really a must-win game at home. 1-2-3 inning. Chris Sale get a grand slam by Willie Adames. Way to kick off game 3. Hopefully Montgomery, and he gives up a home run to Albies. Man, back-to-back singles, a double play, and a ground. A way to pitch out of that for Jordan Montgomery. Error, stolen base, pop up, another run scored with a double play. So our defense lets him down there. But overall, Jordan Montgomery's been pitching fine in this game. Definitely could use some more run support. They bring in Kenta Maeda, gets him out of the inning. There's a double for Acuna, doesn't lead to nothing. Garrett Mitchell gets drived in by Bryce Terang. So it's 5-2, leadoff double, ground out, strikeout, strikeout. So 7 strong innings for Jordan Montgomery. One more inning, he's pitching good. Nope, solo home run by the guy who's killed us this entire series, Mitchell Harris. So it's time to bring in Uribe. Walks the first 2, but gets out of the inning. So time for the top of the ninth. Can we get 2-1 in this series? Devin Williams gives up a run, but still keeps the lead. So, man, that was a crucial win. Got to get this other win against them as well, or we are done in this series. So Freddie Peralta on the mound. Gives up a leadoff double, another double. Freddie Peralta gives up only 1 run that inning, though. Can we get it back? We do, thanks to an error. So the Braves gift us a run right there. Renato Lopez on the mound. Both pitchers look like they're getting into a little bit of a groove here. So the Braves 2-run bomb by Austin Riley. That is tough. Freddie Peralta getting a little out of control here. It's time to bring in Colin Ray. Gives up a 3-run bomb to Mitchell Harris. Man, he has killed us in this series. Colin Ray has not looked good either. It's time to bring in Hobie Milner. He ends up getting out of the jam. We got to get our offense going. There's a solo shot by Rhys Hoskins. Double, another run scores. That's all we get right there. So Hobie Milner gives us a good 2-inning stretch right there. Leadoff single by Joey Wiemer, a walk by Yelich, fly out. William Contreras flies out, and a 3-run bomb by Willy Adames ties the game. Unbelievable. Wow. What a clutch home run. Trevor McGill in the pitch. He's been pretty solid in this playoffs as a 1-2-3 inning. Aaron Bummer gives up a leadoff double. Gonna bunt him over. First and third, 1 out. Sack flies 6-7. So top of the ninth, it's time to bring him back in. Devin Williams, strikeout, pop-up, strikeout, and we are going to a Game 5 in Atlanta, do-or-die game. Clutch game right there by us. Clutch. Willy Adames, man, what a clutch home run he hit. So Brandon Woodruff on the mound, do-or-die game against Spencer Strider. This is going to be a tough game to win, especially if the Braves get some runs early. Leadoff double for Matt Olson. Ends up getting out of it. And we end up getting a 3-run bomb by Sal Frelick to get us the lead. Clutch home run. Him and Willy Adames have been incredible, but a 2-run bomb by Acuna gets the Braves back in the game. We do not get a run after a leadoff double. Colin Ray's in the pitch. Looks like we might have had an injury I missed. So that is not good. We end up getting a run back thanks to Rhys Hoskins. So Colin Ray, maybe one more inning. Going to get one more hitter. He gets out of it. So Colin Ray has been good in this game. Way to give us some innings. Let's see. We have righty, lefty. Peguero, who's been pretty bad. Leadoff double, fly out, strikeout, and a strikeout. So way to bounce back there for him. Maeda's been good. We're going to bring in Uribe to pitch. Bottom of the 7th, 1-2-3 inning. This would be a great time to get another run on the board. We do not. So time to bring in Joel Payamps. Gives up a single, and gets out of it. We could use an insurance run right here. We get it thanks to Rhys Hoskins. So time to bring in Devin Williams. He's pitched a lot, but we need him. And he shuts down the Braves, and we advance. Wow. We are going to the National League Championship Series to take on the Dodgers. We go. So I simmed ahead a little bit in the series. We were up 3-2 against the LA Dodgers, a chance to go to the World Series. So like I said, save us a little bit of time. I simmed some of the games. So we're going to try to close this out right here. At home, go to the World Series. Jordan Montgomery, who's been excellent in these playoffs, on the mound. Here we go. 2-run bomb by Freddie Freeman. Gives them a 2-0 lead. That is tough. Jordan Montgomery, though, gets out of it in the second inning. This Dodger offense is something else. We all know it. Bobby Miller on the mound for them, pitching well so far. Got to get our offense going. 2 on, don't get anybody home. And Montgomery, you know it's time to take him out. We're going to bring in Gregory Soto. Gives up 2 runs, and it's 4-0 LA. These Dodgers just always give me fits in the postseason, as they should. So we just failed to score again. Let's bring in Trevor Miguel, who's been solid in these playoffs. I haven't gave up a run yet. Time to get some runs on the board. There's a solo shot by Will Smith. Bobby Miller still on the mound. Can Trevor Miguel give us one more inning? He does. So 9th inning, bottom of the 9th, 1 out. And the Dodgers win. So we are going to a Game 6. So we're still up 3-2. So it's going to be an interesting game right here. Dodgers could force a Game 7. We're going to put Freddie Peralta on the mound here in LA. 2-run bomb by Sal Frelick off of Yamamoto. Sal Frelick has been a postseason hero in this series. Man, he has been hitting home runs. There's another double by Yelich. 4-0 LA. Can Freddie Peralta keep the Dodgers in check? At least get us to the late innings, at least up by 2. Yamamoto has not been good. They take him out, bring in Walker Buehler. Good job to get out of that by Freddie Peralta. We failed to get a run home that inning. 2-run bomb by Gavin Lux. So Freddie Peralta gives us 5 innings. Gonna leave him in 1 more, and he gets out of it. So 6 strong innings for Freddie Peralta. It's time for a pitching change. We got a lot of lefties coming up. We're gonna bring in Hobie Milner. Hopefully he can give us a good inning here. He does. Walker Buehler still pitching great for them. So we're gonna bring in Piamps, who's been solid. Ends up getting out of it. So we're 3 outs away from going to the World Series. 2-run bomb by Yelich. Oh my goodness. Time to bring in Devin Williams to close out and get us to the World Series. He does. We beat the almighty Dodgers, and the Milwaukee Brewers are off to the World Series. Unbelievable. I would not have thought this was going to happen in the first season. We're facing the Yankees. So if we win this World Series, we would have beaten the Reds, the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. So definitely a well-earned World Series if we get it. Going to put Montgomery against his former team on the mound here at home. But this Yankee offense going to be a juggernaut as well. We end up getting a run early. William Contreras might sim a game if we end up winning this one. So Garrett Cole's given up 3 runs so far. Montgomery has been excellent against his former Yankee team. He is getting some quick outs, and we need it. They just can't hit Montgomery right now. We're having trouble against Garrett Cole ever since that first inning. Montgomery, man, what a pickup he was. You never know what kind of pickup. There's 4-0 now, 5-0, 7-0. Montgomery, let's see if he can keep going. He does. There's a double, strikeout, and a fly. We might have to let Montgomery try to go for the complete game here. And he gets us a Game 1 win. Montgomery was sensational. 2 hits given up, 9 innings, 5 strikeouts. So we're going to go ahead and send this next game. We end up losing. So we're going to New York, tied 2-2, or tied 1-1, excuse me. We're going to put Brandon Woodruff on the mound. We're facing Marcus Stroman. No runs in the first. Leadoff double by Gleyber Torres. 3-run homer by Aaron Judge. And Brandon Woodruff is having a horrible start to this game. Gives up 4 runs in the first inning. Bases loaded for us. We get 1 run, but that's all we get. So we got 2 on, nobody out, and we hit into a double play. Man, that is unlucky. And it's time to take Woodruff out. He's giving up 6 runs. Let's see if Colin Ray can give us some innings here. Marcus Stroman gets taken out early as well. He wasn't really pitching that bad, just giving up a lot of walks. And a double play. Man, that's 2 double plays in this game. We got to get some runs. There's 1, but that's all we get. We've had some opportunities, but just cannot get guys home. The Yankees score another run, making it 7-2. Got 2 on. There's a double by Yelich to get us back in the game. Let's see if we can switch pitchers again. Gonna bring in Elvis Peguero. Let's see if he can give us some good innings here. Tommy Kahnle in the pitch for the Yankees. Has a good inning. Elvis Peguero, maybe 1 more inning. No, gives up a run. Hobie Milner gives up another run, 9-4. So Scott F. Ross in the pitch, top of the 8th. We end up not scoring. Bring in Piamps, try to keep us in this. Gives up 2 singles, but gets out of it. So Ron Marinaccio in the pitch. And we fail to score. So that is a tough loss. So we're down 2-1 in this series. Still in New York. Let's see if we can get this win back. We're going to put, who's been better? Ashby and DL Hall both strong. I'm going to put Ashby in this game. He's been better in this postseason. We got to get some runs. We're facing Garrett Cole in Game 4. Yankees really want to win this game, and I don't blame them. Ashby's got to try to match Cole pitch for pitch, and we get up 1-0 thanks to Christian Yelich, so that is a crucial run. Aaron Ashby's been solid, though. So far, there's a solo shot by Willy Adames, 2-0 Brew Crew. There's a solo shot by Stanton, and back-to-back home runs by him and Rizzo tie the game. That is tough. Looks like Ashby's running out of gas right now, so it might be time to take him out. Gregory Soto in the face, 2 lefties, gets out of it. Garrett Cole, 1, 2, 3, 6 inning. Maybe one more inning out of Soto. Great inning. And man, Garrett Cole, 2-run bomb by Joey Wiemer. What a clutch home run. Caleb Ferguson in the pitch for the Yankees. So I'm going to bring in Uribe here. Gives us a 1, 2, 3, 7th inning. Let's bring in Piamps. Gives up a solo shot to Juan Soto, but still a 1-run game going in the 9th inning. Would be nice to get an insurance run as we do right there. Monasterio gives us a lead, and Christian Yelich gives us a 3-run lead. I am botching right hard right now. I apologize. There's a triple by Sal Frelick, and we have opened this game wide open here. Let's see if Trevor Miguel could finish her off, and he does. So that is a crucial win to tie up the series. So 2-2, Game 5 in New York. Be great to have a 3-2 lead and try to win the World Series at home. Jordan Montgomery, who was sensational in Game 1, going to try to get us a 3-2 series lead. Nestor Cortez Jr. on the mound, gives up a run. Willie Adames, good inning for Montgomery. Score another run, 3-0. They cannot hit Jordan Montgomery in this series. He has been sensational. Wow. And there's a home run by DJ LeMahieu as soon as I say that. So 3-1. Other than that, though, he's been pretty damn good. 3-run bomb by Willie Adames. 6-1 Brew Crew in this game as they had to take out their starter, Ian Hamilton, in the pitch. Bases loaded. Grand slam by Willie Adames. Unbelievable. Let's sim a half inning here. Try to speed things up a little bit. So Montgomery gives up 2 runs in the 7th inning, but still a 10-3 lead. So let's go ahead and switch to Hobie Milner here. See if he can give us a good inning. He does. So let's see. Let's put in, trying to see, Trevor Miguel, 1 inning. Man, what a win for us. 1 win away from winning the World Series. I'm going to send the Game 6 and see if we win it. Your Milwaukee Brewers have won the World Series. Unbelievable. The best franchise I've had. World Series MVP Jackson Chourio. Wow, that's actually a shocker. But Willie Adames, what a postseason he had. Going to go ahead and sim of the offseason. A hell of a World Series win for the Milwaukee Brewers. I would have not thought this team was going to win the World Series. But our lineup hit in clutch moments, our pitching, especially Jordan Montgomery, who I think should have won the MVP of the playoffs personally. He was sensational in those series. We're going to go ahead and sim of the postseason and get the second season going. Season after winning the World Series about to be underway. We only made a few moves in the offseason. Didn't really see anybody that was worth the money the Brewers would pay. That's like a big impactful player. But we ended up signing Matt Strom to a 1-year, $6 million deal. His numbers last year were great. 1.47 ERA in 55 innings. Really think he's going to help this bullpen even more. Him, Piamps, Uribe, and Williams will definitely be our big 4, I guess you could say, in our bullpen. And then Devin Williams is a free agent after the year, so that's a decision we're going to have to make. And then we also signed Brandon Drury to a 1-year deal, $7.5 million. He's coming off an okay year, but he gives us some versatility. He can play first, second, outfield, third. So just a guy to have around, a veteran guy, versatility. We really need a third baseman. So we're going to get the second season underway. Hopefully it's a back-to-back World Series franchise. So we're going to make a trade right here, and Brandon Drury is going to be involved in this. We're going to give up Brandon Drury, who's really not having a bad year. It's just felt like he was expendable with this deal we're about to make. We end up moving Jackson Chourio to second base, so he'll be our second baseman. We're going to trade Bryce Terang, who's also having a very good year and was big for us in the World Series and the playoffs. And we're going to give up third baseman Brock Wilken now. Nolan Gorman adds a big left-handed bat to our lineup. He's only 24 years of age. He hasn't been great, but Busch Stadium's a pitcher's park. You put him in, the Brewers' home ballpark, and I think he's going to mash in that ballpark. So he'll be our everyday third baseman. We move Jackson Chourio to second base. I love this trade. The interesting trade proposal from the Washington Nationals. Lane Thomas, who's a free agent after the year, 13 home runs, 46 RBIs. Not having a great year, but not been bad either. For Joey Wiemer, who's not been that great so far. 3-year age difference, so we might have to pay Lane Thomas, or he could be just a kind of a rental player. But I got to accept this trade. That is too good of a trade to pass up. So into the second season, Christian Yelich led the league in walks. We end up winning the division again, 90 wins in back-to-back seasons. The Cubs end up making the wild card. So another great season. Now let's check out everybody did before we get this postseason underway. Christian Yelich, what a year! 24 home runs, 86 RBIs. Good bounce back season for him. Sal Frelick just continues to get better. We saw in the postseason what he can do. You know, he's developing that power. Defense is good. Gold Glover on the way for him in the future. William Contreras, another solid season. Willie Adames, 39 home runs, 107 ribbies, slugged over 530. Man, what a season for him. Garrett Mitchell, another solid season. Lane Thomas was solid. Not great, but not bad, especially with the lineup we have. Rhys Hoskins, down year for him. He's a soon-to-be free agent, so first base might need to be something we look to try to get in free agency or trade. Jackson Chourio, first full season, 17 home runs, 62 ribbies. Good to see. Junior Caminero, our young shortstop, didn't really hit too much. Nolan Gorman ended up getting hurt. That's why you don't see him in the lineup. I'll go look at his numbers in a second. Jake Bauers, not great numbers off the bench, a lot of strikeouts. Joseph Ortiz didn't even play a game. Owen Miller was solid in a limited time, 8 for 26. And Jefferson Clelo in a backup catcher role wasn't great either. So let's look at Gorman's numbers real quick. So 31 home runs for Nolan Gorman. Man, he's going to be a bat we miss when we try to repeat these World Series. Pitching rotation, Freddie Peralta was excellent again, 60-8, 2.73 ERA, back-to-back 200 innings campaigns for Freddie Peralta. Jordan Montgomery wasn't as good this season. Hopefully he can carry that playoff magic he had last year. Brandon Woodruff was not very good. He's also a free agent to be. Him and Montgomery are both free agents to be, so the rotation is definitely something we got to look at in the postseason. Aaron Ashby, about where he was last season, not great numbers. DL Hall was not good at all. Matt Strahm, another excellent season, 1.72 ERA. Joel Payamps, another great season, 3.41 or 3.14, ERA. Abner Uribe didn't have a great year. Like, it wasn't a bad year, but it wasn't as good as his last two seasons. Elvis Peguero was lights out, 1.70 ERA. Hobie Milner, a great year. Bullpen looks really good, 2.75 ERA. Gregory Soto, an excellent year, 2.12, 11 saves. Bryce Wilson didn't pitch. And Devin Williams had a down year, 6 blown saves, ERA over 4. Hopefully he's good for the playoffs because we cannot be having that. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the playoffs. Might sim a few games to save us some times in this video, so I will catch up with you guys in the playoffs. Game 2, we lost game 1 of the D-backs. So Jordan Montgomery on the mound in game 2. Gave up a 2-run homer to Alex Bregman, and the D-backs are trying to sweep us in the first round. Hopefully Montgomery can get it going the rest of the game. Eduardo Rodriguez gives up a 2-run bomb to Caminero. Way to step up with Nolan Gorman gone. It's a tied game. Trying to get some more runs on the board. Jordan Montgomery really cruising along now, but we need to get him some run support. There's a leadoff double for Jonathan India. There's a run score thanks to James McCann. So it's time to take Montgomery out. Let's put in Matt Strahm, who's been really good. Can we get this run back? We do. So single by Jackson Chourio. Matt Strahm. Give us, okay, he gives up a run. That is tough. So we're going to bring in Gregory Soto, gives up another run. So 5-3, leadoff double by Garrett Mitchell. Kyle Nelson to face Yelich, walk, pop up, fly out. Kevin Ginkel to face Willie Adames, and he gets him to pop up. That is tough. Solo home run for Corbin Carroll. There's a walk, a fly out, a strikeout, and a fielder's choice. So let's bring in Bryce Wilson. Maybe he can give us an inning or two. 1, 2, 3 inning. Geener. Cano, former Oriole in the pitch. This Diamondbacks team looks nasty. So we're going to bring in Devin Williams to try to get us out of this. He does. So Joe Mansupply in to try to close it out and knock out the defending World Series champs in the first round. And he does. So not the postseason we wanted. First round X after winning the World Series. Just a tough loss for us. The Gorman injury definitely hurt as well. It's a big bat we're missing. So we're going to go ahead and sim with the postseason. We got some moves to make. We got to figure out this rotation, how we're going to get back to the World Series. Just to show you guys who wins the World Series real quick. The Astros defeat the Dodgers. The Astros win the World Series again in this franchise. We are on to the final season. We made some moves. We ended up losing Matt Strom in free agency and another reliever. So our bullpen's looking a little shaky. I'm not going to lie to y'all. It might be the downfall of this team. Hopefully we can maybe trade for one at the deadline. But we did add two starters. We add Chris Paddock, who's coming off of a solid year. Not a great year, but a solid year. He slides into our number 2 spot in the rotation. We end up losing Brandon Woodruff and Jordan Montgomery to free agency. Jordan Montgomery wanted a lot of money, and he's coming off a down year, and I feel like we could get maybe somebody better, which I think Paddock overall-wise is better. And we also get Aaron Savali, who's coming off a really good year as well. So these three in the rotation, along with Ashby and DL Hall, I think can be a really solid rotation. And we added a big bat, Josh Naylor from the Guardians, coming off a 26 home run campaign. Reese Hoskins, he didn't have a bad, I'm not going to say he had a horrible year, but he didn't have a great year last year. Now, Josh Naylor adds a big bat to our lineup along with Churio and Gorman, and we got a lot of versatility. Willie Adames. We also, I forgot to mention, traded Christian Yelich's contract, and that's why I went out and signed Josh Naylor and our two new starting pitchers because Yelich, he wasn't getting any better. I think he was like 34 this season. It was just time to trade that money off the books and try to upgrade our team. A first-round exit was not a good way to go off of a World Series season. So let's get this final season underway. Hopefully it's another World Series. So final trade deadline of this franchise. Brewers 53 and 57, 8 games back. Division's pretty bunched together, especially us and the Reds and Cubs. We made a few moves I got to show y'all at the trade deadline. We got Ian Hamilton, who's having a really good season. His bullpen's just been a disaster, but the crazy thing is it's the starting rotation that's really not been good. If you look at the numbers, Peralta's not having a good of a season. Chris Paddock's been good, but not great. Savali's having a down year. Aaron Ashby, his numbers are pretty identical, but it's like at some point you want to see some improvement. And yeah, his ERA's up a little bit, but it's like, man, you got to show some improvement. And then DL Hall has just not been good at all. So tough to see. I really thought this team was at least going to get by, and maybe we still have a chance with some of these moves. The World Series win in the first season might be all we get, y'all, in this franchise. But hey, that's satisfying enough for me because that's more than I did with all the other 4 teams. So we're going to go ahead and send the end of the season, and maybe we'll make a run, and we'll wrap this franchise up. The final season of this franchise is done. We end up missing the playoffs. It's a horrible season. After a World Series in Season 1 and a first-round exit in Season 2, we don't even sniff the playoffs in the third season. Let's see everybody's stats and see what went wrong. So Sal Frelick, 25 home run campaign. So he's definitely a guy that was just going to keep getting better as we kept going. Garrett Mitchell, about where he usually is, 19 home runs, 65. Pretty identical to last year, but, the on-base percentage, slugging, and average is down, but still home run and RBI-wise. Strikeouts went way up as well. Josh Naylor, not as good of a season, but still had 20 home runs, 300 average, 83 RBIs. So the power went down, but the average went up. On-base and slugging went down a little bit. Nolan Gorman, another good year, about where he was last year. Willie Adames, another good year. Lane Thomas, another good year. So our lineup looks pretty good. Our lineup does not look bad. Jackson Churio, another identical season to last year. Like, you're not seeing a lot of improvement from this team, but you're seeing guys put up steady numbers like they did last year. Jackson Cuero, 11 home runs, playing 121 games, which went a little bit of pop in his bat with William Contreras hurt. And Eric Haas actually hit pretty good. We kept him around as a depth option in the minor leagues, and he ended up having a solid year as a backup catcher. Tyler Black didn't do much in limited time. Owen Miller hit. Junior Caminero didn't really play a lot. Didn't hit it either. And Michael Perez, Winsell Perez, didn't do much. And then Blake Perkins had his opportunity but didn't really hit. So our bench really let us down. So starting rotation, Freddie Peralta, not a great year. ERA over 4 after 2 really, really good years. Just not a great year. Chris Paddock ended up bouncing back. Really good year, 3.4 ERA. I will take that. Aaron Savali was not good either. ERA over 4 after back-to-back ERA under 3 seasons. Aaron Ashby, a horrible year, ERA close to 6. And then DL Hall, a little bit of improvement, but still ERA close to 5. Jacob Mizorowski, solid year out of the pen. Joel Payamps, another good year. Devin Williams is not good at all this season. Just a horrible season for Devin Williams. ERA of 5.66, 8 blown saves. Ouch, that's not going to cut it. Elvis Peguero, after a lights-out season, puts up an ERA of 8.64. Yeah, it was only 8 innings, but that is just awful. Abner Uribe, his numbers have started to go up in a bad way. 4.03 ERA this year. Ian Hamilton was good. He already went up a little bit from the All-Star break. Kevin Kelly was really good in that closer role. So you guys see the bullpen let us down and the starting rotation wasn't great. But that'll wrap it up for this Brewer franchise. I hope I didn't let any of you Brewer fans down. We won a World Series, so that should be satisfying enough. We're going to be moving on to another division in the next episode, so I'll let you guys know what that is when we get there.